Good evening. Welcome to the 2019 Clemson Alumni Distinguished Service Awards Gala. I'm Greg Morton, President-elect of your Clemson Alumni Association, and a proud graduate of the class of 1978. The Distinguished Service Award gives us a chance to recognize our peers who are setting the example for what it means to serve. Tonight, we will take the time to recognize and honor 5 impressive individuals who have excelled in their professional careers, loyally served this university, and tirelessly given back to their communities, their states, and this nation. I'm honored to introduce to you the 2019 Clemson Alumni Association Distinguished Service Award recipients. Laurie Ancar. Titus Duren. James T Mccabe. John Nichols, Nikki Mccarter. And Gregory C. Smith. Congratulations to each of you. Since the university's inception in 1889, Clemson has developed traditions and a rich history that have made this place distinct and beloved. Tonight, we continue a tradition honoring some very impressive individuals by presenting them with the Distinguished Service Award. This award is based on 3 main criteria: personal and professional accomplishments, dedication and service to Clemson University, and devotion to community and public service. It is the highest honor that the Alumni Association can bestow upon one of our peers. These honorees were nominated by their colleagues and their friends. Letters and emails praising each one of these individuals for selfless service, an inspirational work ethic, and a giving spirit were submitted to help tell their special stories. As part of tonight's celebration, we are honored to have with us many of the honorees' friends and family, special guests, and esteemed faculty from the university. I'd like to take this moment to recognize the members of the Clemson Alumni Association Board of Directors. If you're here, please stand. Without this group, tonight wouldn't be possible. Thank you for your valued service to the more than 156,000 alumni around the world. We're especially grateful that President Jim Clements and First Lady Beth have joined us tonight. Their leadership continues to elevate Clemson as a forward-thinking, dynamic, and accomplished university. On behalf of the Clemson Alumni Association, let me say thank you for your vision, your hard work, and for all that you've accomplished here. It is now my high honor to welcome to the lectern the leader of our beloved alma mater, a leader who's had a major impact on this great university in service to students, to faculty and staff, and to alumni everywhere. Dr. Clements is a nationally recognized voice in higher education who is leading Clemson to unprecedented levels of achievement. Since he joined Clemson, applications have increased from 19,000 in 2013 to nearly 29,000 this past year. He has helped raise nearly $700 million for our students and faculty. Research funding has doubled from $75 million per year to $150 million per year. And we've built $900 million in new construction. And while all of this has been going on, Our national university rankings have remained at or near the top in many categories. Here are just two. Number one for students who love their college. That's an important one. And a top 25 public university for the 11th straight year. Please join me. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Dr. Jim Clements.
Thank you, Greg. Good evening. Go Tigers. Go Tigers. Thank you all for being here tonight for this very special recognition. I want to thank Mike Dowling for his leadership as president of the Alumni Association and Will Brazington for his service as executive director. Would you please help me thank them and Greg as president? Thank you to our board of trustees for their outstanding leadership and service. I'm going to tell you something I know you already know. We're really blessed to have an incredible board of trustees who cares very deeply about this university. Many of our trustees are here tonight. Would you please help me thank them for all they do? We also have members of our other voluntary leadership boards here tonight, including the Alumni Association Board, the Clemson University Foundation Board, the Board of Visitors, the IPTE Board, the President's Advisory Board, and several of our college boards and other leadership boards. I want to thank all of our volunteer leaders for their dedicated service to this great university. Thank you to the Alumni Association and to all of the past Distinguished Service Award winners who are with us this evening. I do want to point out, I just saw here tonight President Emeritus Phil Prince, who is here with Martha Grigsby. Would you please help me thank him for his leadership? Mr. President, it's always good to see you. As you know, and as it was stated earlier, the DSA is the highest honor bestowed upon a former student by the Clemson Alumni Association. For more than 5 decades, this annual award has been given to Clemson men and women who have served with great distinction in their profession, in their communities, and in service to their alma mater. The list of past winners in your program reads like a who's who of Clemson history. I'm honored to be here with such a distinguished group, and I'm thrilled to help recognize the 5 individuals who we will add to that list tonight. They are incredible examples of the theme of this evening, which is service. They are role models, not only because what they have accomplished in life, but more importantly, how they live their lives. We are grateful that each one is committed, passionate, and fully engaged in the success of Clemson. Each deserves a place among the honor roll of Clemson leaders. So to Laurie Ancar, Titus Duren, T Mccabe, Nikki Mccarter, and Greg Smith, we say thank you and congratulations. Clemson is very proud of you and your achievements. You inspire us with your commitment and your distinguished service to Clemson University and to the world. In your own unique way, each of you is helping to make Clemson better and stronger. So thank you. May God continue to bless you and use you. And go Tigers.
Thank you so much, Dr. Clements, not only for your remarks here this evening, but more importantly, your leadership for this great university. Good evening, everyone. Go Tigers. My name is Mike Dowling, member of the class of 1993 and president of the Alumni Association. It is such an honor to be part of this evening and celebrate each of tonight's recipients. The focus of tonight's award is on service. We are a university that values service. But what do we mean by service? For the 5 people we honor this evening, service has encompassed many different roles. One has served in the military, honoring our country in a manner closely linked with this university and its history. Several joined fraternities and student organizations, instilling in them the ideas of loyalty, brotherhood, and giving back. Many of them have served as leaders in their professions, starting or running companies, and providing the vision and leadership to achieve professional success. They have all served countless hours as board members, presidents, and volunteers in numerous charitable organizations, helping to improve agriculture, education, the arts, the business community, and this great university. Tonight we have the chance to honor and recognize all types of service that these distinguished individuals have shown throughout their lives. On behalf of the Clemson Alumni Association and our more than 156,000 Clemson alumni, I want to thank each one of you for your service, for promoting the best ideals of a Clemson education and what it means to be part of a Clemson family. We are now going to show you some brief videos so you can learn more about these honorees, their lives, and their impressive accomplishments. After watching them, I'll have the privilege, along with Dr. Clements and Student Alumni Council President Jonathan Gundana, of presenting each recipient with a special award and a lapel pin. It is now my pleasure to present our first honoree of the evening, Laurie Ancar.
My name is Laurie Ancar. I started Clemson in the fall of 1986, graduated in the spring of 1990, and finished my master's degree in August of 1992. I had grown up going to ball games, and really that was just kind of the place to go. That's what I wanted to do. And I was thrilled when I got that big envelope in the mail that says, "You're accepted." My husband, Chalmers, and I got married in the fall of 1992. I taught school in Florida, in the northern part of Florida, and we started farming, and were there until 95. The whole time we were in Florida, we knew we wanted to come back to South Carolina, and Clemson was a big part of that. Titan Farms was born in 1999, and that has really kind of defined our life ever since then, and has really solidified our relationship with Clemson. Several years ago, Chalmers, my husband, was on the Board of Visitors. We got to know then Provost Dory Helms quite well, and I think that was part of the beginning of the Creative Inquiry program that's a big part of the undergraduate degrees now. Our Creative Inquiry is taking kids from all different disciplines and bringing them together to work on a project that supports fruit and vegetable production in South Carolina. Another thing that we do that we're really proud of is our involvement with the Musser Farms Fruit Research Station here. We provide a lot of opportunities for researchers to do own farm research, and it's hard for them to replicate that in a small area. So when they can come to the farm and have the opportunity to have real world research opportunities, then that just gives them better data. As a Clemson alum, I think we're all proud. We're very proud. It's how you got to where you are. If you can, then you need to give back, and to provide some kind of opportunity for a kid to do something to better themselves is incredible. My father-in-law received this award in 2011, and we came to the banquet, and I remember just being in awe of what an honor it was, and I thought he was so very deserving, as have been any of the other recipients that I've ever met. And I am humbled beyond means to even be considered in that group of folks, because they are some of the finest people that I've ever met. And to be able to say that you've received an award from an institution that means as much to my family and me as Clemson does is very humbling, and it's quite an honor.
Laurie Ann, on behalf of the Clemson Alumni Association and your fellow Tigers, it is my pleasure to present to you the 2019 Distinguished Service Award and prestigious DSA lapel pin. thank you for your service to this university and the world of agriculture. Our next honoree is Titus Duren.
My name is Titus Duren. I was a student at Clemson from 1967. I graduated in August of 1971. My path was a little different. The NAACP leadership in Sumter talked with some of us students from school and said they wanted some students to go into this program at Clemson at Sumter to integrate and come to the university. So there was a group of us, 5 or 6 from my high school, that we thought we'd give it a shot. We didn't have black fraternities or sororities, but we pulled together and we made a group, SLBI, Student League for Black Identity. And it was a support group for us, and today we're still friends, and today we still get together. I taught and coached for 9 years, became an administrator in 1980, and I did that at Edisto High School for 10, Lower Richland High School for 11, Richland School District Office for a couple of years. I went back to the principalship at Hunter County Tyler High School in Orangeburg 4, served as a principal specialist, worked for the State Department as a principal liaison for some years and principal mentor, and now I do staff development. I was involved in the forming of the Clemson Black Alumni Council. When we formed that back in the early 80s, the purpose was to try to enhance the black experience for students here at Clemson. And the university worked with us, and that's how we got Black Alumni Council started. We helped start the Gantt Scholars Program, raising funds for that, and now I come back, try to come every year when Gantt Scholars are presented their scholarships. That's a big thing that I love to do. There's an old quote, I worked with a guy that said, you judge a man as to whether he's able to lift himself up from the confines in which he finds himself, okay? And then when you get up, you gotta help somebody else get up there too. 50 years ago, I never dreamed that the camaraderie with people would be like it is today. I can sit now and think about how many lives that I've affected. Thank you for recognizing a poor boy from the south side of Sumter, across the track, dirt streets, and who's probably, this was my opportunity to make it, and you helped me.
Titus, on behalf of the Clemson Alumni Association and your fellow Tigers, it is my pleasure to present to you the 2019 Distinguished Service Award and prestigious DSA lapel pin. Titus, thank you once again for all you have done for this university and education in the state of South Carolina. Our next honoree of the evening is T Mccabe.
James T Mccabe was at Clemson, finished high school one Friday night in 1943. Monday morning I was a cadet because I knew I was going to have to get some time in before I had to go in the military. The war was in the middle of World War II, and I stayed until the first of the next year and joined the Navy. They give you an aptitude test. Well, they came to me and said, you scored very high, you can go to an officer training school at the University of Oklahoma. We call it a V-12 program. I said, I didn't come here to go to school, I just quit school to join the Navy. I would like to do sea duty, and what's the quickest way I can get there? They said, we've got something called the Armed Guard. I said, what is the Armed Guard? And they said, it's Navy gun crew on merchant ships. I said, I'll take it. Just stayed in the Navy for 3 years as a gunner in the South Pacific. I stayed in that until I was discharged. I came back. I went to work for the Highway Department, stayed with them about 3 or 4 years as an instrument man on construction. Went to Standard Oil Company, which today Exxon, and they had a job opening for a representative for asphalt sales, which I accepted. I spent a good 30 years with them and enjoyed every minute of it. I just like this part of the country. I had some good friends up in this area, so we decided to move to Clemson. I've been a member 68 years for IPTE, and it's better than 40, maybe 50 years for season ticket holders. They got ready to pave a running track here, and Walter Cox and I were good friends, and he called me and said, Jim said, could you possibly get some liquid asphalt and kind of write it off? And I said, well, sure, let me see what I can do. So I called my terminal manager in Charleston, and the next thing I wanted to do is do some paving, street paving, which I contributed to. And then the Thrift Brothers, I put them in the paving business, so they did the work gratis. They didn't charge any labor, or and the quarry people, Bob Campbell at that time owned Campbell Limestone, and he gave the aggregates, so it didn't cost them anything for a lot of paving on this campus. Made me feel good to be able to participate. It's quite an honor for me to receive this, and my heart's here, and somebody thinks a little bit about me, so that gives me a warm feeling.
Well, Jim, on behalf of the Clemson Alumni Association and your fellow Tigers, it is my pleasure to present to you the 2019 Distinguished Service Award and prestigious DSA lapel pin. Jim, thank you once again for all that you have done for this great university and for our country. Our next honoree of the evening is Nikki Mccarter.
I'm Nikki Mccarter from Clover, South Carolina, and I came to Clemson in August of 1973. My degree was in administrative management. I came to Clemson as a walk-on football player, as a linebacker. And the coaches were very good to me and encouraged me, and my career was cut short, but I stayed involved. Bill McClellan, who was the AD, took an interest in me, and so I kind of helped, did a lot of things around the athletic department, around the football field, so I enjoyed my time and that's really what led me into the business career I'm in now. I met a alumnus and a football player while I was here, BC and Abbott, so I went to work with Defender Services with him. But he loved Clemson, and he instilled, in me, along with a lot of other people, to love Clemson, to give back to Clemson, put more in the pot than you take out. 39 years later, we expanded our business, and we operate in about 15, 16 states, work about 4,000 employees. I really feel like, everybody should give something back, and Clemson was an easy way for me. As an IPTAY member and alumnus member and all those type things that I hope all our Clemson graduates and our Clemson fans do. But I've been involved with continuing ed board. That's where I first kind of got started. And then I was on the board of visitors. I really never set out to really run for the board of trustees. In 2008, we had a board member that retired, and so I got the phone call. It was a pretty tough sledding there, so I didn't really know what I was getting into. But working with the state legislature, General Assembly, has been a joy. I feel like, that's my niche as far as Clemson. I really, truly enjoy the relationships I've built. Clemson's just special. I don't feel like I would be successful today without Clemson, because it all started here. There's a lot of people deserve this award, I'm sure, more than me, and I'm very humble to get it. Never dreamed, I'd get something like this, and I just encourage everybody to work hard for Clemson and, and give back and, do what they can. And for me, little old town of Clover to be getting this award is special.
Nikki, on behalf of the Clemson Alumni Association and your fellow Tigers, it is my pleasure to present to you the 2019 Distinguished Service Award and the prestigious DSA lapel pin. Nikki, thank you once again for the impact you've had on this university and your community. And our final honoree of the night is Greg Smith.
My name's Greg Smith. I came to Clemson in the fall of 1981 and I was a transfer student. I graduated in May of '84 in mechanical engineering. I didn't know anyone who had ever gone here before. I just felt at home here from the very beginning. And that coming from someone who moved schools 12 times before I graduated from high school. My career took us overseas to Germany, and we spent a couple years in Germany. We came back to Atlanta, and then I actually co-founded a software company. We sold that company in 2007, and I wanted to give back in certain ways, and so that started with a conversation with President Barker. He challenged me to look at giving back in two ways, one in athletics and one in academics. And so I took that to heart. I thought maybe I can make a difference in Clemson golf, and so that was a program I kind of adopted. And then on the other side, representative from the Sparrow Institute came to Atlanta and met with me, and I knew that was something I wanted to get involved with the first time I heard about it. The Sparrow Institute was created for entrepreneurial leadership on Clemson's campus. How can we lead into students and help them prepare for going off and potentially starting businesses or getting involved in leadership ways with early stage ventures? A lot of people are now recognizing how special that program is and how it's a differentiation not only for Clemson, but in the lives of these kids and their families. And I tell them why I drive from Atlanta every week to come talk to them, because I think it's that important. All of them will either work for somebody or be a part of an early stage business at some point in their working careers. So getting some exposure to that while they're here, if they're interested, it's just gonna help them be better. You know, I'm 56, so what am I gonna do? I have like 14,000, 15,000 days left. So what am I gonna do with it? Am I gonna keep it for myself, or am I gonna give it back? I'm choosing, I want to work on things that have the potential for generational impact. Whether it's with students, whether it's in ministries I'm involved with, whatever it is, I don't wanna work on anything that's just short-term oriented. Clemson is really, really special to me. It's something that I have carved out a piece of my life to give back to, and to be recognized for this is really humbling. It's just an unbelievable honor.
Greg, on behalf of the Clemson Alumni Association and your fellow Tigers, it is my pleasure to present to you the 2019 Distinguished Service Award and the prestigious DSA lapel pin. Greg, thank you once again for all you've done for this university and our world. And now let's give one last round of applause for all the 2019 distinguished students. Let's take a moment to recognize the support system behind these honorees. Their spouses and children have stood beside them and helped them through all their accomplishments. I know that you are all grateful and honored by their support and their presence here tonight. To those family and friends and to all members of the Clemson family, thank you for sharing this very special night with us. Please allow me a moment to thank the 2019 Distinguished Service Award Host Committee, our previous DSA honorees, along with the Clemson Alumni Association. Your continued support of the event is greatly appreciated. And a special thank you to our corporate sponsor, Nationwide Insurance, which has also made this evening possible. Nationwide has a gift for each one of you to commemorate this evening, so please stop by the alumni table after the reception to receive your gift. After we close with the alma mater in just a moment, I invite you to join me and your 2019 Distinguished Service Award recipients for a celebration reception in the lobby. Now, please stand and join me in singing the alma mater. Drive safely and go Tigers.